Rhyme and Reason Ring months more. We're back.
If only.
And we are once again joined by a guest. This is the amazingly talented Charles Moss. Say hello, Charles.
Hello, audience.
All right, so Charles is an animator. They are working on their own show called Detective Cat, and I decided, like I said, I've been trying to have more guests on, and I'm like, hey, Charles, you want to join us for Phantom Tollbooth? Because I thought, let's have an animator, on an animated film, but also I always love it when our guests like bring in, information and stuff. So I thought this would also be perfect since, Charles is did you study the art of animation or did you just do it yourself? Like started yourself?
I studied it. I went to school for it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I thought it would be interesting to have him join. So Jad, I'm gonna actually have you go first for the first two pieces of information.
Okay,
'Cause
so
I'm-
we'll. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we're reviewing The Phantom Tollbooth. It was based on a book by Norton Juster. Norton Juster was an American academic, architect, and writer. He was born in 1929, and before he became a writer, Juster met Jules Pfeiffer, a cartoonist, and they became fast friends.
So in 1961, Jester published The Phantom Tollbooth, complete with art by Pfeiffer. Now, The Phantom Tollbooth became extremely popular, and today, even like today, it's considered one of the best pieces of children's literature. Jester made this statement about the book in 2011. When I grew up, I still felt that like that puzzle kid, disconnected, disinterested, and confused. There was no rhyme or reason in life. My thoughts focused on him, and I began writing about his childhood, which was really mine. Today's world of texting and tweeting is quite a different place, but children are still the same as they've always been. They get bored and confused and still struggle to figure out the important questions of life. Well, once thing has changed, as many states limit tolls on the highway, some children may never encounter a toll booth. Luckily, there are other routes to the lands beyond, and it is impossible to seek them and fun to try. Charles, you want to take him the next two pieces?
Sure. Sadly, Juster passed away in 2021 at the end of 91 due to complications from a stroke.
Oh, wow, he lived long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quite a life. But anyway, this film adaptation was directed by the legendary Chuck Jones and co-directed by Abe Levitow. So already we're getting some animation veterans involved. But yeah, Levitow worked under Jones's supervision as an animator and joined him when he left Warner Brothers to form SIB Tower 12 Productions. There, they were commissioned by MGM to animate a new series of theatrical Tom and Jerry shorts. The shorts proved to be so popular that MGM would acquire the studio and rename it MGM Animation / Visual Arts.
Now, The Phantom Tollbooth was Jones' first and, well, only full-length movie he directed. The film was originally completed in 1968, but it wouldn't be released until 1970, 2 years later. This was mainly due to changes at MGM's management. At such, it was released with no marketing, and no surprise, it was a financial flop because of that. But despite that, it got good reviews from both critics and animation film buffs alike. Norton Juster, the author of the book, however, despised the movie. He said in an interview, "It was a film I never liked. I don't think they did a good job on it. I've been around for a long time. It was well reviewed, which also made me angry." Now, for the cast, Fitzpatrick plays the main character Milo in both the live-action sequence and as the voiceover. Patrick is perhaps best known for playing Eddie Munster, this classic sitcom, The Munsters.
Yep, he was the kid. Let's see. And you got Mel Blanc voices Officer Short Shrift, the dodecahedron, and several other characters. I like the dodecahedron kind of sounds a little like Bugs Bunny.
Oh yeah, a lot like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Bugs Bunny in the movie. Like I just got done finishing watching it, and whenever I heard him, I just went, "Yeah, what's up, Doc?"
Yeah. And the equally talented Dawes Butler played the weatherman, the census taker, and several other characters. And we recently heard Butler's voice on our podcast when we reviewed Raggedy Ann and the Pumpkin Who Couldn't Smile. He played Raggedy Ann.
Yeah,
Charles, take it away.
All right. Another legend in voice acting, June Foray, voices the Princess of Pure Reason, voices Milo's friend Ralph in the live action sequence, and Faintly Macabre, the not so wicked witch. She also joined Butler in a previous review as Raggedy Ann in the same special.
And Hans Conrad voices both King Azaz the Unabridged and the Mathematician. While you might remember him best as the voice of Captain Hook in Disney's Peter Pan and Snidey Whiplash and Dudley Do-Right, we have heard him voice the Grinch in a previous review, Halloween is Grinch Night.
Yep.
And
oh no, go ahead. Sorry, Dad.
And Larry Thor voices Tuck the Watchdog. Thor started off as a radio announcer and newscaster before he transitioned into radio dramas.
Okay, whoops. Let me do that. Okay, so and then let me see where was it? Les Tremaine voices the humbug and the poetic words vendor. This is another person where it's like, oh yeah, this voice is familiar. He had a long career in vaudeville, radio, film, and television. He was once named one of the most distinctive voices on the radio. And then the songs, yes, this is a musical, were composed by Lee Pockris, who is mostly known for his Broadway work, and Norman Gimbel did the lyrics. All right, so I think I put this on the list because this is a movie that I remember watching, and I'm like, oh, I really like this. And I've also read the book, which is also good. And so let's just jump right into it. So, as we said, the film focuses on a boy named Milo, and he is so bored of life. We see him at the beginning, kind of like daydreaming, or like just it doesn't
At
kind
school,
of
yeah.
like. Whereas I kind of was like, he's like disassociating. Like I was like, I get you, I get you. Um, and he heads home, and the song plays at the beginning. I don't know
Yeah,
the
and
Milo song.
the song has this kind of Burt Bacharach kind of feel to it. It's very easy listening.
Hmm.
Like
It
it's
almost
like
sounds like a jingle for an airline company. Like, the whole
yeah,
world to
this
be is pie. Well, it is your pie when you fly with United Airlines.
yeah, and it's late 60s, so it was around that time where songs like Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head were popular, and I guess this was kind of cashing in on that. And it
Probably.
does, it kind of fits the tone because you got this boy who doesn't seem satisfied with life, and the song is just giving him the slow diss track like, Milo, where are you going? Why are
Yeah.
you so bored? Can't you play with the Switch too instead? Oh, wait, they haven't invented that in another 50 years. Oh, well.
So he gets home, he calls his friend Ralph, and I just have to say, it's like this. I know it's like it's always like, oh man, an actual phone. It's just it looks so old, and then all of a sudden this random box appears in his room. That did happen in the book. He was like in his room, and all of a sudden he sees this massive box. And I thought this was actually really cool how they did it. The box opens up and reveals a toll booth. Now, if you've never seen a toll booth, back in my day, they had these when you were driving, like if you were it's usually like on a highway, you would go through the toll booth, and my parents would say you got to pay the toll to the troll. So I used to think that there was a troll inside the little little like offices, and we would give him coins to check the coins and then let us through. But yeah, that's to help like pay for like I think like road repairs or stuff.
Okay, I almost made an Always Sunny joke, but I'm
No.
better than that.
Okay, and then the toll booth opens up and basically says, "Hey Milo, you've been gifted a toll booth." And there's a little red car, and they say it's like, "Hey, where do you want to go?" So they give him this really pretty looking map. He looks at it, and it's he's like looking at all these names, like, "What are all these names?" And then he's like, "I guess I'll go to the castle in the air."
Yeah,
And
and when he drives through the toll booth, he becomes animated, like in
Yeah,
a signature song.
yeah, I'm waiting for Christopher Lloyd to come in and go, you are an illustration. Oh.
no,
For
not
those
the
that
ship.
Yeah, for those that didn't get it, it's a reference to the Page Master, which is kind of similar. You got a live action boy, Macaulay Culkin, and he becomes a cartoon character, and he meets Christopher Lloyd as the Page Master, and he goes on this weird adventure. But I don't know if y'all have done this movie
Oh,
before.
not yet. We need to. I loved the Page Master.
Oh yeah,
Um,
That's another one I barely remember.
that's worth looking into in the future. But yeah, this movie kind of functions the same way. He goes through the toll booth and he suddenly becomes a Chuck Jones animated character, and we get this kind of long thing where he keeps going back and forth between live action animated.
Yeah, because he realizes that something's different. Um, and so he starts driving, and he comes to a sign that says "Beware of Officer Short Shrift," and it's this little cop who also has like a he's like a part unicycle because he doesn't have any legs, and he comes in and he's like, everybody's guilty, 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 guilty. It's like his whole thing, and he's being
Mhm.
a bit of a dick. But it's like this is I feel like Phantom Tollbooth was also a little inspired by Alice in Wonderland, where it's like you get in and
Oh
things are
yeah.
a little crazy, and he can't because like the officer's like, you're guilty. He's like, I haven't done anything, which is just like real life. But he goes, I have to get to the castle in the air, and all of a sudden we hear uh thunder and there's lightning, and after short just like, the what in the what, the castle in the air, and then short
Yeah,
short just
it's like
Mhm.
in Young Frankenstein where they go Frau Blucher and you hear
yes,
horses go. "Nee." It's like
yes,
supposed
that's
to be this
exactly what.
ominous thing.
Like,
Also, side note, I want to point out that because this is a Chuck Jones production, I couldn't help but notice that the police officer looks like Rocky from the Bugs Bunny cartoons, the
He
gangster,
does.
because
oh
his
yeah.
he's got this protruding chin and his hat covers the first half of his face.
Yeah.
I just think it's a cute character detail.
Yeah, see, I think one of the reasons I really loved this film, is because, we all of us grew up like with Chuck Jones. We all were like
Oh,
watching the
definitely.
the
The
reruns.
Grinch and
Yes. And
Looney
it's just
Tunes.
and like it
yep.
kind of is sad this is his only feature length film, but it's just like I think it
Didn't
made me
he
love his
also didn't he also co-direct Gay Paris?
I think
He only
he did.
wrote it.
Oh,
Oh, but what about the art design?
Gabe. Hang on. No, it was directed by Abe Levital. Chuck Jones only worked as a writer.
huh.
Oh,
I
I
definitely
see.
think he would have maybe at least done some of the character designs because you're right. In Gay
It,
Paris, some of the character designs look
Well,
similar
Abe
to his
Levital
style.
did work under Chuck Jones for years, so
Oh,
I can imagine he was inspired.
yeah.
But
Again,
interesting.
I think it's just like, there's something about Chuck Jones' style that is very charming,
Oh
and
yeah.
I love it.
Now it's funny when you look at Chuck Jones's filmography. When he started out at Warner Brothers, he was basically just kind of copying Disney with the Sniffles the Mouse cartoons. And I think during the 50s, he kind of started finding his voice, and it was where the characters kind of became a little more simplified and more abstract. Because this was during the boom of like postmodern art and UPA styled animation. And if you compare, say, what's Opera Doc with the Great Piggy Bank Robbery, it's like night and day between two
mhm.
eras. And Chuck Jones just kind of created this sort of, style. And the 60s was definitely much more prominent with television and even some of the latter Looney Tunes shorts he worked on. It's very geometric, very flat, but also very um, colorful. But the characters themselves, they have this kind of laid back looking energy. Like if you look at One Froggy Evening and What's Opera Doc and the Rocky and Mugsy cartoons.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So we first go to a place called the Doldrums
Oh no, no, no!
where
You forgot about the Weatherman.
oh, the Weatherman, yes. Oh god, I love the
Mhm,
way they designed this character. Because,
mhm,
like I said, I have the book right here, with me. Cause, and I'm looking at the pictures, and Juster drew the Weatherman, and I kind of like how Chuck Jones drew him. He's a lot
mhm.
cuter, and he comes in and he like kind of repeats himself a lot, but he's just such an adorable little man. And
Yeah,
he,
because he lost his way, as he said.
yeah. And he's like, "Welcome to the land of expectations, the land of expectations." And then again, like I do feel this is very Alice in Wonderland inspired because once again, Milo's really confused. And the weatherman has a bunch of balloons and he starts floating up. He's like, "I hope you find my way." and he flies up, and Milo's like, "Well, that was weird." But
Yeah, and by the way, because this world functions with grammar-based um, lingo, the weatherman is spelt as
Oh yeah.
WHETHER. So
yeah.
that's kind of your first indication you're going to get a lot of wordplay and a lot of puns in this movie.
This is a very cleverly written book and movie. And then we get to the doldrums where we meet the Lethargians. There are these see-through, goopy
The
creatures.
Lithargians, I think they're called.
Yeah. And they live in the doldrums, and it is illegal to think of the doldrums. It's like illegal to do anything. And they sing a song, Don't Say There's Nothing to Do in the Doldrums. And it's actually a really good song, and it's kind of like a villain song because you first think it's like, oh, these guys are just really lazy, but they want Milo to stay there forever. Because as he's
Hmm.
singing and starting to become more lethargic, they start like wrapping around the car, and then okay, we get introduced to one of my favorite characters, Talk. And like, because all of a
Mhm.
sudden you hear barking, and someone they're like, "It's the terrible watchdog! It's the terrible watchdog!" And they're all freaking out. And I really like how they drew Talk. I have the book, and on the cover, it's a picture of Milo and Talk. I really, once again, prefer Chuck Jones's design. He's just much more charming and cute, in my opinion. Um, but see, I'm gonna read this. So, when my brother was born, the first pup in the family, my parents were overjoyed and we named him Tick, and the expectation of the sound they were sure he'd make. On first winding him up, they discovered to their horror, instead of going tick, 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 he went talk, 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 talk. They went to the Hall of Records to change the name, but too late. It had already been officially inscribed and nothing could be done. When I arrived, they were determined not to make the same mistake twice, and since it seemed logical that all the children would make the same sound, they named me Talk. Of course, you know the rest. My brother is called Tick because he goes talk, 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 and I am called Talk because I go tick, 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 tick. Because Talk is a watchdog. He has a watch inside of him. Because see,
Womp
Milo
womp.
says, Milo goes, "I'm killing time." He goes, "Killing time," and his talk starts to go crazy, and he starts telling him like, "Oh, it's terrible to waste time, but it's also, bad to kill time." And as he's talking, the doldrums start like, well, see, one of the things I really liked is I liked the design of the Lethargians, because they're like, what they'll like,
I'm
if one falls
like
onto the
goop.
ground, yeah, it'll split into two. But as they freak out, like when Watch was coming, they all like three, like two of them ran into each other and just like got stuck together and ran off. But now, they start to form into like this huge wave of clear goop. But in order to get out of the doldrums, Talk says you have to think. And he's like, "What should I think about?" It's like, "Well, just think about whatever." Because like not only do the Lethargians not want you to think, they don't want you to breathe, they don't want you to eat, they don't want you to do absolutely anything. So Milo's kind of waking up, and Talk says, "Think about fish that swim and birds that fly." And he goes, "Fish that fly and birds that swim." And we see a little animation of it.
I kind of like that because you'd expect him to say, "Oh, think of birds that fly and fish that swim." But I feel like in that instance, he's not only encouraging him to think, but also to kind of expand his imagination and
Mhm.
creativity.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
and oh yeah, it's just so we get Talk gets a song about time and how it's a gift.
it's a really good song,
It's
and
a
it's like,
cute one. It kind of reminds me of a Sherman Brothers song.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah. I originally thought the Sherman Brothers did this, but it's like, oh no, it's not the Sherman Brothers, just because the songs felt very Sherman Brother-ish. And then
Yeah, I mean, this came out in the late 60s, so they kind of wanted a piece of that Mary Poppins pie.
yep. And so then after that, they come across, they almost smash into this guy's cart. We meet Dr. Cacophonous, and we have another, this is another song I really like. So he turns out he's a man who makes sounds, but he only collects the awful, terrible ones.
Like
And
squeezes, smashes, thumps,
but he like
bangs.
loves it. It's his jam. And then we're also introduced to the awful Din, which is voiced by Candido. I hope
Yeah,
I'm
Candy
saying.
Candido. He was a radio star back in the early 20th century, and he's played in a few famous Disney films. He was
Oh
most
yeah.
known for playing the Native American chief in Peter Pan. Not the best representation, but just thought I'd throw it out there. He also played one of Maleficent's goons in Sleeping Beauty. Like, he's known for having this very, very, very deep voice. He's like, like in Robin Hood, he plays this alligator
Oh
announcer.
yeah, that was perfect
He's like,
Yeah.
casting.
he's like,
Yeah.
attention, everyone! The archery
Yes.
tournament will now begin. I'll
He
get you
also
next time, Gadget.
he was also Fidget, the peg-legged bat in The Great Mouse Detective.
That's right. And they sped up
Oh,
his voice to make it higher.
Oh, I don't know why they
that
did
part I
that.
didn't know.
Just have him use the regular voice. And I also didn't know this. He was the voice of the mechanical mouse, the giant mouse of Meeks in American Tail. So again, we have like a lot of really talented people who like you probably like don't know their name, but they voiced something in your childhood.
Like even earlier, the Doldrums were actually voiced by Thor Ravenscroft, but I think
I
it was
knew they
listed
sounded
as
familiar.
uncredited.
Yeah, I knew those voices sounded familiar because all the Lothardians have the exact same voice.
Mhm.
But the awful Din, it's spelled Dynne, but it's like he's like, what do you say like when you hear a bunch of construction on the road? What do people complain about? The awful Din. Hey, what does your mother tell you to stop doing when she's on the phone? Keep down the awful Din. Again, this is a very like clever movie with all its like wordplay and everything. And again, like so they finally leave because it's too loud, it's too crazy. It's like we gotta get out of here. And Talk grabs a bottle of laughter, and they are soon in the
Dixonopolis,
Dictionopolis.
the kingdom
Uh-huh.
of letters and words.
Okay, so as they're driving through like an orchid. And
Letters are growing on trees, and like you can see that the trees are clear like paper, and on the tree trunks are printed on them, and on the leaves, the words leaves are printed on them like paper.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
they even mention money doesn't grow on trees, but words do.
yep. Okay, and then they go into the marketplace where the people are selling words, but like I love one where it's like, "Hey, we're selling half-baked ideas." I'm like, "Ha ha ha." That's
Have
funny.
big time. That got a laugh out of me.
Yeah, I really love how clever this movie is, and then we meet like this seller, and once again, this is a voice. It's like I recognize that voice, even though it's Mel Blanc, the amazing uh,
Mm-hmm.
Mel Blanc. Um, and he gives Milo a bag of words, and then they meet the spelling bee. Um,
Oh yeah, this is another voice I remember. Let me hang on. I got the cast link put up. Shepard Menken, and he was a character actor, I believe. And
yes.
for those of you who are really, really old, you might recognize him as Clyde Craskcup in the Elephant Show.
Oh wow. Yeah. And he's like, it's a bee, but he's not mean bee. He is the spelling bee.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I got the book right here. It's like, perhaps I could be of some assistance. ASSISTANCE, buzzed an unfamiliar voice. And when Milo looked up, he saw an enormous bee, at least twice his size, sitting on top of the wagon. I am the spelling bee, announced the spelling bee. Don't be alarmed. ALRMED. So that's like basically his whole thing. He knows every word and he can spell every word. And I actually really like the design of the bee. I think he's like really cute.
Yeah, he
Because
almost looks like a hummingbird.
yes. And then we're introduced to like our third main character, the humbug. And
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know why, but he and the spelling bee just have some sort of like vendetta against each other. Cause he just starts making shit up. Like he starts like making fun of the spelling bee. And the spelling bee gets fed up and they
Especially when he calls the spelling bee a wasp.
Yes.
I guess you can say he has a lot of beef with him.
Yes.
Oh God.
Because they start fighting, and because of that, what happens is
The
the
entire
bee.
marketplace collapses. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
And let's see what happens is the bee gets the humbug. The humbug falls over and hits a booth, and then the booth starts to like topple over, and it's like a what is it called, a domino effect. And
Yeah.
Milo gets unlucky because the word guilty lands on his head. And who should come back but Officer Short Shrift?
Mm-hmm. And he proclaims Milo guilty, but Milo says, "But you can't pronounce me guilty. You're not a judge." To which he quickly transforms into a judge.
Yeah, he keeps bending over backwards every time he tries to sentence him. And he's like, wait, you can't sentence me. A jailer has to do it. Okay, now I'm a jailer. Now I'm taking you to prison.
Yes. So they're in prison, and that's where short shrift, I mean, says that he'll be sent to cell with a witch.
But it's not a witch. It's a witch.
WHICH, yeah. Faintly macabre, the not so wicked witch.
She's so, I love the design. She's so cute. And
She kind of reminds me a lot. I know I keep comparing the characters to other stuff, but she really reminded me of the fairy godmother from Disney Cinderella.
Yes.
And a little bit of Granny from Looney Tunes.
Yes.
Yeah,
she's
June Foray.
So cute. She's, and the thing
Yeah,
is,
like,
she says, my name's Faintly the Cobb, the not so wicked witch, and the weatherman happens to be her brother. And then we get the story of what happened in the land of wisdom. There was originally a king, but unfortunately he died. Now Talk had described this story earlier, but
it's where we get into more detail about it.
There was a prince, and he established the kings of knowledge.
King Azaz the Unabridged.
No.
And
Their father was the original king, but King Azaz and the Math Magician are his sons.
Yeah. So one formed the kingdom of World Dixonopolis, and the other formed the kingdom of numbers, the kingdom of mathematics. And he kept insisting that one was more important than the other. It's basically an argument between words and numbers. So, in order to find... Sorry.
So, see, in the book, it talks about this. It seems like, so Azaz and the Math Magician are his, like, blood sons, but it seems like he found... Okay, I'm gonna read the book. His only regret was he never had a daughter, for he loved little girls as much as he loved little boys. One day, he was strolling peacefully around the grounds. He discovered 2 tiny babies had been abandoned in a basket under the grape arbor. They were beautiful golden-haired girls. The king was overjoyed. They have been sent to crown my old age. And he called the queen, his ministers, the palace staff, and indeed the entire population to see him. We'll call this one Rhyme and this one Reason. So they became the princesses of Sweet Rhyme and the princess of Pure Reason, and were brought up in the palace. And so the sons promised like to take care of the daughters when he passed. But as we find out, see, even like as little kids, apparently, Azaz and the mathematician didn't like each other, because Azaz thinks words are more important. The mathematician thinks numbers are more important. And finally, they like have a fight where they butt heads. And they go to Rhyme and Reason, and they say, okay, which one's better, words or letters? But Rhyme and Reason, being the only people with a brain cell in this argument, are like, well, they're both equally important. But the kings are not.
Yeah.
They're not happy. They're furious, and they banish him to the castle in the air.
Yeah.
All back.
I also like this scene, how they instead of showing King Azaz and the Mathematician, they're shown as letters and numbers. I'm like, oh, that's really clever.
Yeah, it's very abstract. And ever since the banishment, there's been no rhyme or reason in the land at all, which is why everyone acts so weird and crazy.
Get it? There's no rhyme and reason.
Yep. But see,
However, sorry,
go ahead. No,
the,
you go ahead.
the king's men come downstairs to bring Milo up for a dinner, saying there was no time for sentences because the king's raiding. And it's there we meet the King Azaz, the Unabridged. And he does a pretty catchy song about why words are important and how there's a lot of puns in them. I'm like, let's see.
Yes, and he, along with the math magician, are voiced by Hans Conried, aka the voice of Captain Hook. And he definitely has that distinct cadence that you recognize. He's like, Mr. Spee, get that Peter Pan.
Yeah. And he also has this song. And, I'm not sure what it's called, but he's basically like he's trying to sort of explain why he thinks words are more important, and it's a very catchy song. And also there are these five guys. I can't remember what their names were. They're in the book too. Um, there's I think they're like they all have different names, but they just they're talking. They'll be like let's see. I'm trying to find the post where it's on. Um, they invite Milo to have dinner with King Azaz.
Are they the ministers?
Yeah, the ministers. That's who they are. I don't think they mention their names in the movie. Where is it? Where were they introduced?
So, yeah. So anyway, the king says that it's time. Sorry.
So in the book, they introduce themselves as the Duke of Definition, the Minister of Meaning, the Earl of Essence, the Count of Connotation, the Undersecretary of Understanding. And see, like what they do is like they'll say one will say greetings, the other one will say salutations, hello, and all this. Like so, it's just them all sort of saying synonyms.
Oh yeah, that is what they did in the movie when we first met him.
Yeah, and there's this really cool visual where at first you see one guy, but then as each of them introduce each other, they kind of come out of the original person in almost the same shape, but they get smaller. And there's like this one little guy, and he
Yes.
talks with a very deep voice. It's like a head with little legs and arms. It's kind of cute.
Yeah. And so then they
Sorry.
go ahead, Jad.
At the dinner table, the king says that since Milo's the guest, he's the first to speak. And Milo tries to tell him about his plan to rescue Princess Rhyme of Reason, but the king says that's enough. He has to let someone else speak. And that's when everyone else at the dinner table instead just lists different food.
Yes, and that's where Milo has to eat his own words. Because their food is literally words, because it's a word kingdom. This movie's very creative.
Yeah.
And the king was like, well, you should have said something and more delicious.
Yeah, you should have had a tastier speech. And then Milo had talked to him, the witch, and said, hey, maybe we can rescue Rhyme and Reason. So he goes to talk to the king. And even so, it's like, this is how you know this is fictional, because there's no way a ruler would actually admit something's wrong like this. But he's like, yeah, things were better when the two little princesses were around.
No, see, because King Azaz is on the list.
Oh, no!
No!
Oh gosh. I'm really happy no minors listen to this show, but so Azaz is like, does anyone volunteer to help Milo? And for some reason the Hungbug was also invited to the meal. And he's like asleep because he's full, but you know, the spelling bee is apparently really petty, and he sneaks under the table to sting the Humbug, and the Humbug just stands up. He doesn't say anything at first. But
but the king thinks he's volunteering. And so the three of them take off in a car, and you can see the Humbug is grimacing the whole time. And as they drive off in the distance, he finally leaps up and screams in pain from the sting.
That feels like such a Chuck Jones type of humor. I loved that. Now, like I said, I've got the book here. There is a character that was left out. I'm gonna just read this really quick. A gross exaggeration, protested a furious bug who didn't realize that so much was visible to the naked eye. Amazing, gas talk. How do you know all that? Asked Milo. Simple, he said proudly. I'm Alex Bings. I see through things. I can see whatever is inside, behind, around, covered by, or subsequent to anything else. In fact, the only thing I can't see is whatever happens to be right in front of my nose. So I think they didn't add this character just because his like introduction is and his like the chapter he's in is only like 7 pages long, so I think they just thought it wasn't that important to add, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this movie is already overstuffed as is, and sometimes
Definitely.
you gotta kill your darlings in order to make a more functioning adaptation. I mean, that's what a lot of movie adaptations do anyway. Is sometimes
Oh
they
yeah,
leave out some characters and sometimes condense two to one or the other.
yeah. There's like this
They
other
arrive.
thing.
Sorry.
There's a City of Illusions. They also left that out. There's this dude who claims to be the fat man, the thin man, the giant, and the midget. Like that also was left out. But then
Oh no.
we are introduced to the dodecahedron.
Yeah, who guards the entrance to Digitopolis, the kingdom of mathematics. And at first, it looks like they can't get in because the entrance is black. Well, the humbug just wants to go home. But Milo refuses, and apparently the only way in is to think their way through many mathematics. So Milo does and recites a bunch of mathematics he learned in school, and that's what gets him through.
Mm-hmm. And like the humbug kind of tries to take credit. He's like, "It's a good thing we knew the Fibonacci sequence." Humbug, you didn't do anything. You just sat in the car.
I like the humbug. He is such a
Yeah.
pretentious fop, and it's even made better by the fact that he's played by Leigh Tremaine, and he played the big bad wolf in the Raggedy Ann Christmas special.
Yeah, like
He is a lot of fun in this. Like, I'm not denying that the humbug is not fun. He is such a fun character, and I love his
Yeah.
design too.
Yeah, he's got riz.
Yeah, Norton Justice says his inclusion was to be a negative influence in Milo's journey, which contrasts against TAOTT,
Yeah.
which I can definitely see. Yeah, and it's there where we meet. Let's see here, the mathematician.
Yeah, the other
And-
king.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he sings a song about how important numbers are. Like, if you have a deep thought, how do you tell how deep? Numbers.
And it's the same like melody as his brother's song, and I think this was sort of made to show that while the brothers are very different, they also are very similar. Because like the thing is like they after he finishes singing the song, Milo's like, "Hey, we want to rescue Rhyme and Reason." And he's like, "Wait, did my brother agree to this?" And he goes, "Yes." "Well, forget it. Me and my brother don't agree on anything." Well, Milo manages to be like, "Well, if you like something, then like your brother won't. Right. And if you like something, your brother won't. Right. And you disagree. So here's the thing, you agree about disagreeing."
Yeah.
And he's technically right. So the math magician gives him a like magic pencil that looks kind of like his. He has a staff that's like a really large pencil, and this little one looks kind of like his. And then I'm trying to.
In other
remember.
words, just a regular pencil.
Yeah.
Is this where they
Just don't
meet?
draw doodle Bob.
Yeah.
Is that where we did we meet Chroma now? Is this where we meet Chroma?
Oh yeah, the conductor.
Yes.
TAOTT says earlier that there was only one sane man left in the entire land. He's the one who conducts the sunrise and sunset.
This is a very pretty scene.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love the way he's drawn whenever he begins conducting. He like raises his arms up and he darts his eyes back and forth.
That face,
as if there's an orchestra.
Yeah.
It's a very Bugs Bunny looking kind of pose. given
Yeah, I wouldn't be
who's.
surprised if
Yep.
that animation was taken from a Bugs Bunny show Chuck Jones did.
Yeah, like his expression is very Bug Bunny-ish.
Yeah, he's got
And
the chubby cheeks and the very, scrunched in eyes and his kind of mischievous looking demeanor.
yeah. And so then they went
No,
so
no,
I'm
no. The
having
conductor
oh
asked
right.
Milo to wake him up early enough to conduct the sunrise. But since he can't wait, the humbug suggests to Milo to just conduct the sunrise himself. Uh,
Wait,
but
it's a
that's why.
really dumb idea. I don't know why Milo went with this. Like, Milo, you don't have any experience
Yeah,
conducting, but he does
yeah,
it
we're
anyways.
getting kind of a Sorcerer's Apprentice moment where Mickey tries to do the magic but keeps fucking up.
And he
Yeah,
fucks it up greatly.
Yeah, he's warping the uh, laws of physics.
yeah, like it's just as a clash between night and day, hey, and a bunch of colors and lighting clashing. And it's there that they reach, I believe it's called the Mountains of Ignorance.
Yes.
Yeah, the Mountains of Ignorance.
And we're
And
introduced to the census taker, not census, senses, like your sense of
SCNSCS.
yeah,
Yeah.
like your sense of taste and smell, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's that he starts to steal the sensor, including the sensor direction, which causes his car to spin in a still circle. But in order to counter this, Tak got the bottle of laughter earlier in order to counter the census taker with a sense of humor. And it also sends the census taker into a laughing fit, where they manage to escape. But they meet this weird, faceless man who asks for help.
Yeah, the terrible Trivium. And he basically asks them to do very trivial tasks, as is his name. But he asks Milo to pick grains of sand with a tweezer. And he asks the humbug to chisel out a hole with a little pin. And talks like, well, wait a minute, what are you guys doing? This is trivial. There's more important stuff than this. And they run away from him.
Yeah, I'm gonna read what he says in the book, and also this is one of the designs that is like directly from the book that is in the movie. It looks exactly like
neat.
how it was drawn by a Jester. As he spoke, he tipped slowly towards them with his arms outstretched and continued to whisper in a soft and steeple voice. Now do come and stay with me. We'll have so much fun together. There are things to fill and things to empty, things to take away, things to bring back, things to pick up, and things to put down. Besides all that, we have pencils to sharpen, holes to dig, nails to straighten, stamps to lick, and ever so much more. Well, if you'll stay, you'll never have to think again. And with a little patience, you can become a monster of habit, too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
And
it's almost like this movie has some kind of commentary on how introverted society has become.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then as they're running, they hear someone saying, "Hey, keep running. Keep running. He's right behind you. He's right behind you." And they all fall into this hole. And I want to read what this is also in the movie. "Oh, I'd do as much for anybody," he replied. "Bad advice is my specialty, for as you can plainly see, I'm the long-nosed, green-eyed, curly-haired, wild-mouthed, thin-necked, broad-shouldered, round-bodied, bow-legged, big-footed monster, and if I do say myself, one of the most frightening fiends in this whole wild wilderness. With me here, you wouldn't dare try to escape." But Milo sort of has started to catch on. He's like, just because somebody says there's something doesn't mean that's what it is, and he climbs up the hole and sees this tiny little furry creature.
Puffball, yeah.
Yeah, the one-eyed, one-horned, and flying purple people eater.
But it says, "I'm the demon of insincerity. I don't mean what I say. I don't mean what I do. And I don't mean what I am. Most people who believe what I tell them go the wrong way and stay there. But you and your awful telescope have spoiled everything. I'm going home." Like he gets all fussy and he runs away. And then they're grabbed by the gelatinous giant.
Yeah, it's
the jolly
something.
the jolly Jello giant.
He's
Try
not
saying that
that
3 times
jolly, though.
fast.
He's not that jolly though.
No, he's not jolly.
He's angry and
Yes.
Hanky.
because I think he's gonna eat them, but Milo
Milo
says,
pulls out his bag of ideas he got from the king, and that terrifies the giants. He starts to melt because he's afraid of change and ideas.
mm-hmm. And they think that they're safe, but the other demons. So in this, they're called demons. In the book, they're called fiends, but it's basically the same thing. So they start moving towards the castle. And I actually like a lot of these monster designs. They're very
Oh yeah,
creepy and surreal. Um, and some of them are a little sketchy, but I also kind of liked that. Who first? I think it's the two-headed hypocrite.
yeah. The
Yes.
threat, the
Yeah,
excuse,
we're
and the overbearing
still
know-it-all.
yeah, we're
Mm,
still committing with the whole wordplay, the two-headed, two-faced hypocrite, and the overbearing know-it-all.
mhm. And he defeats fourth. He defeats the two-headed hypocrite with the word forthright. He draws like a huge four. He reaches into the bag of letters and pulls out forthright, and that defeats them. And then comes the what's he called? Not the overbearing know-it-all.
Yeah, the overbearing
And
know-it-all.
Yep.
He uses the word humility.
mhm. But then the other monsters like start to sort of merge together and become this huge horned beast. Like you see the words malice, hate, all this on them. And
Prejudice, cruelty. Yeah.
Basically, the Republican Party.
yeah,
it
basically. Um, but
is a good metaphor for what they're doing to our schools, huh? Satire. Satire.
and the,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
and so Talk tries to bite the monster, but the monster like throws Talk off, and for a second you kind of think he's dying, but thankfully he doesn't. But like Milo runs to meet the princesses of Rhyme and Reason, and they're drawn. I'm not sure why they
They're
did
almost
like this.
like
Yeah, they don't have faces.
yeah, they're just
Nope.
silhouettes.
They
Yeah.
kind of look like concept art that they just kind of decided to literally translate as models, but would have been kind of nice to give them faces. I might do some
Yeah.
fan art later.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't do that. That felt so odd to
Yeah, they're
me.
probably cutting corners here.
Yeah. So it turns out that they sent the toll booth to Milo so Milo could save them. Because according to them, it's like we needed a boy that was so bored that he would do anything to like, you know, uh be unbored.
You're
And
the chosen one.
yeah. I don't think that's how it goes in the book, but oh well. They rescue first the weatherman shows up
Yeah.
and he helps
Manga, sorry.
he helps Milo get down with two balloons. One says here, and I think the other one says how.
Yeah. Here and how. Yeah, and as Rhyme and Reason also make the escape with them, they bring Rhyme and Reason back to the land, they change Humbug's clothes, and Talk acts clock is working again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can
And
hear it
then
ticking in before it rings the alarm.
and the song "Rhyme and Reason Rain." I actually really like this song
Mhm.
because as they are like flying, they're fixing everything. The demons, I guess, are all banished. Everybody who's been in the movie joins in. Like they're driving, and after her short shrift comes, he goes, "Everything once in is innocent until proven guilty. Innocent, innocent, innocent," and he drives off. But Faintly McClob has been released. She's free to help people pick words. Azaz and the math magician agree that both letters and words are um equally
And that
important.
one, oh yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
And that one guy, I'm familiar who was obsessed with sounds, is now spreading street sounds throughout the land.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh,
yeah, and then let's see. And you were saying?
and then Chroma also fixes the sky. Well, no, Rhyme and Reason fixes the mess he makes, and then Chroma wakes up. Um, and it ends with Milo being sent back home, but because he's gone on his adventure, the toll booth leaves his room, and then his friend Ralph from the beginning calls him. He's like, "Hey, there's something weird in my house." Um,
A big
and
straight box, yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, it
and
almost reminds me of the Chronicles of Narnia, where they go in the wardrobe and they spend a whole lifetime in there, but they come back and they're children, and it's been like a few minutes.
yeah. And so it ends, with Milo having like a new outlook on life and
Mhm.
wanting to, go out and do stuff, and that
Be
is
more
the
proactive,
end.
yeah.
Yep.
So
So
remember, kids, complicated grammar will make you appreciate life. So
Okay. So the message was about the pursuit and application of knowledge, and you can kind of tell that that lesson is still there.
hmm this is like a lesson that people really need.
Mhm.
I do agree. Like one of the critics says the film does get like a little bogged down. There are so many characters that are thrown in, but again, like that's also one of the reasons a lot of characters that were in the book were left out. That's like one of the things you have to do
Mhm.
sometimes with book adaptations. But again, as someone who's read the book and seen the movie, even though they had to remove some stuff, I still think they actually did a really good job. And I also just think that again, since I grew up with, Chuck Jones's art style, I just found the movie so charming. It is very beautiful in a lot of places. I do sort of think that the movie was a little rushed towards the end. Like if so for some reason there were like rumors of them possibly making a live action version of this, which no, thank you. Um
Mhm.
it was in 2010 and then in 2017, but both of those fell through, thank God. Um I kind of think if they ever did this again, it would work better if they did it like a mini series, because this is also like a book that is very popular to teach in like elementary school. It's like,
yeah, I can definitely see this being like a Netflix adaptation,
mhm.
Mhm.
because I know there's a lot of animated movies on Netflix that are, you know, because I've been seeing a lot of Roald Dahl adaptations and even some Dr. Seuss ones. But um, yeah, it was really interesting. I actually just finished watching it before I jumped on, and I remember watching it once 15 years ago when I was, because believe it or not, you used to watch movies for free on YouTube. Like
Oh, those were the days.
anyone could
Yeah.
just upload a movie or an entire show on Netflix and you wouldn't get in trouble. But I
Now
used
we
to
go to
go,
archive of our own. No,
yep, I watched it
Internet
on
Archive, my bad.
Internet Archive, and I have to be honest,
Archive of our own is where you go for the porn, Rudy.
Shoot. Yeah.
yeah, but I hate to be the contrarian, but this didn't really work for me.
Oh no.
Like it's creative. I love it's visually interesting. I like some of the songs. I like the wordplay, but I don't know, it just kind of goes on in a lot of places. Like there's scenes where it goes on longer than it needs to,
Mhm.
and there's more expository dialogue than letting the visuals tell the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like,
I
I do love the film, but I do agree with that, like, I think another thing is also this is an issue I sometimes have specifically with movies made for, like, kids. They'll throw a lot of characters into something, but then it's like they don't stay around or they don't actually, like, add to the plot. I know it was probably hard of them to be like, okay, which characters are we gonna like keep and get rid of? Of course, they have to keep like Talk and the Humbug just because they become main characters along like with Milo. So, think it was just probably hard for them to sort of decide which characters were gonna get some spotlight and which ones weren't. That
Now,
makes
I
sense.
will say, I'm glad that this movie does commit to its episodic structure like the book does, because that's the same, type of storytelling you used to get with movies like Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz, where,
Hmm.
there isn't necessarily a three-act structure. It's just a character going from one character to another until they reach the climax. But it, if this were made today and you mentioned there was a live action remake, I guarantee they would have restructured this to give it a cliched prophecy plot and
Oh.
added action scenes and like
So
the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movie.
yeah, so like again, I think if they were gonna try to adapt this again, it's like just make it a mini series, then you can get through every single part of the book
Yes. And
and
I
have
feel
a
like there's room for expansion and, to
yeah.
flesh out the characters more. Because even though I get Milo has to learn to appreciate things, I feel like I'm not really on board with his character arc
Hmm.
as the movie wants me to.
Yeah, I also felt like his understanding of like when he gets to the end and it's like, yay, I like understand everything and stuff like that. And it's like that felt a little fast.
But
And I know,
honestly, even when he first comes into the animated world, like he's going through this swirly highway and just this acid trip fantasy land, he's just like, I'm driving on the road and I have nothing to worry about. It's like, dude, read the room, buddy.
where's your sense of
You
wonder?
you turned into a celluloid Happy Meal mascot, and you're in Wonderland on Quaaludes. I mean, this should be the most exciting thing for you. Are you really that bored? It's like,
Probably.
I
So
mean,
this is
I'd be shitting my pants if that happened to me.
So see, I think what it is just see, I would like give this movie. I think I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna give it like a 3.5 because it is very well animated. Like one of the it's like when on this podcast we don't always get to watch stuff that has really good animation. This has solid animation. Like the characters stay on model. There's no random like color changes. You don't have just like things that don't make sense within the art. So it's like, you know what, at least we have that. And I did like the songs. I kind of wish some of them had been longer. But like again, it's like it's just Milo's a bit of a
Land
dud of a
character.
yeah. Again, like I've said, I read the book.
Yeah,
He's a little more interesting and realistic in the book. I feel like when it comes to writing kid characters, some people have problems with that. And I felt like maybe that was another issue. So
yeah.
that they didn't know how to write
Yeah,
them.
the
Usually in
side.
usually in stories like these, the kid protagonist is often always the audience avatar. It's
Yeah,
like,
the stand-in.
Hmm.
yeah, the blank slate. But another thing to comment is his cartoon persona kind of reminds me of how Christopher Robin looked in the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie.
Really?
Because Christopher Robin usually has these dotted eyes like Adventure Time, but in that movie they gave him actual
Yeah.
human eyes,
I don't
and
know what was with that.
it's
Ugh. Oh gosh, I saw a picture of it. Yeah, no, that's I don't like that. I don't like that not at all. But
Mhm.
so yeah, I would give
So,
this a 3.5. Jad, you go ahead. What did you think?
yeah, I would give it a 3.5 as well. Like you said, the animation is great and the puns can be very clever, and the character animation is just classic Chuck Jones at its best. But yeah, the side characters were actually more interesting than the main character himself. Uh, it's like Moss said, it's because he's supposed to be the stand-in for the audience.
And the thing is, you can do that, but you still need to make the character feel unique.
yes.
So
And to
Moss, what
have
did you?
him actually react to his surroundings,
Yeah. Moss, what would you give this out of 5?
I would give it a 2.
Oh
Okay, that's
wow!
not bad. All right, so now we are getting into news. So I'm gonna go first. Moss, you will go second, and then Jad will go third. So we have to start off with, unfortunately, as we always do, we start off with some sad news. Lonnie Anderson, actress on the hit TV series WKRP in Cincinnati, has passed away. Um, so she died Sunday, just days before her 80th birthday. That's so
Mm.
sad. So the show WKRP in Cincinnati aired from 1978 to 1982, and it was set in a lagging Ohio radio station, trying to revenge itself with rock music. That is how she got her like start. She was the station's receptionist. Um, Jennifer. Um, she earned 2 Emmy Awards and 3 Golden Globe nominations because of that role. She also was married to Burt Reynolds for a while. I'm not sure if it says, yeah, it doesn't say how she died, but she is survived by her husband, her daughter, her son-in-law, her son, and her grandchildren.
Oh, that's
Uh,
sad.
she was 79, so she lived a very long, fulfilling life.
Okay,
Uh,
Moss, you got the next one.
All right, so they just announced a new SpongeBob video game, SpongeBob SquarePants: Titans of the Tide. I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I think it's really cool that we're back to doing 3D platforming SpongeBob games because I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I used to rent Revenge of the Flying Dutchman and Battle for Bikini Bottom on the PS2. And I own a copy of Battle for Bikini Bottom, and it's actually one of my favorite games ever. Because
Yeah,
uh,
this is. Sorry.
if you
yeah,
want, you
because
can watch the trailer.
right now,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's quite. Yeah.
We'll do a
It's
thing
just
where
see
it's like
this.
we'll talk while we're watching the trailer.
sure.
David
Yeah.
Hasselhoff is back, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does sings a song for this film. I mean,
Oh my gosh,
game.
really?
Yes,
Yeah,
because they were
Yeah.
hearing like, "What
Looks
do we
like
do with a drunken
and then
pirate?" And it reveals Zardu Hasselfrau, aka David Hasselhoff.
oh my gosh. This looks
and
cool.
yeah,
It
this is done by the
does,
same team behind the Battle for Bikini Bottom remake and the Cosmic Shake.
I can see
And
that.
and the animation is so good. It's still like, it's
cartoony.
yeah,
Yes.
They
it's
even do
3D,
those
but
close-up
it's
illustrated gags like from the show.
yeah.
Now I'm curious. For Flying Dutchman, did they still get Brian Murphy to play him, or did they get Mark Hamill? Because I know there's a SpongeBob movie coming out this year, and they casted Mark Hamill to play him instead.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm not
question.
entirely sure. I do recognize that for King Neptune, they got that guy from the show to return as him.
Oh, John O'Hurley.
Yeah. Yeah, and seems like the story is that King Neptune and the Flying Dutchman are clashing, and their magic power is inadvertently transforming Bikini Bottom into a ghostly landscape.
I see.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who
They got
does
Patrick
Wait, so I
White.
think if you get the Ghostly Edition, hang on, let me see what you get with the Ghostly Edition. So if you get the Ghostly Edition, you get the game, you get a steel book, you get 2 exclusive costumes, a sew and patch of the Flying Dutchman, 5 lenticular cards, and a golden spatula keychain.
Hmm.
That is pretty awesome. I would get that just for the keychain. I love
Yeah, I
keychains.
gotta get those SpongeBob games try sometime.
I got a lot of catching up to do. There was another one that came out a few years ago. What was it called?
Was that the
The
Cosmic
Cosmic
Shake one?
Shake?
Oh, what's that?
Cosmic Shake.
Cosmic Shake. Yes. I think it's on my Steam wish list, so I might buy that soon and play it.
Alrighty. No, I'm not
And
happy about this news.
yeah, Nintendo Switch announced US price raise increases for the original Switch and its accessories.
Boo.
Piece. And on that, like, the prices are going up. Like, the Nintendo Switch will now be $340, which is like a $40 increase. The OLED model will be $400, a $50 increase. The Switch Lite would be a $230 increase, a $30 increase. The Nintendo Sound Collector Llama will be $110, which is a $10 increase. And the Joy-Con 2 controllers, $100, which is a $5 increase. And this is all because of those fucking tariffs.
You could have
Uh,
foreseen this. Ah, man, the six. I hate it here.
And if that's not bad enough, they warned that other price increases could be coming for the Switch 2 games and Nintendo Switch Online membership.
Dude, this is why I'm so happy I'm mostly a PC gamer. I still want to get a Switch too, but it's just like, this is so frustrating.
I feel like I haven't played enough Switch games to want to transition to Switch 2. Like I've only played at least one one of the Zelda game, Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey and Animal Crossing. Like, I don't know if I'm gatekeeping myself, but I don't know. I feel like I should have consumed more Switch stuff until I'm ready to go, because this is kind of like that Apple mobile device technology where you buy an Apple product for a year and then suddenly they announce a new model the next year, and it's like, dude, I
Yep.
just bought this. I want to enjoy it,
Yeah.
like
I
cut me some slack.
I do want a Switch too. I'm like content to wait, but it's just really frustrating that if I wait, it seems like I'm gonna have to
Pay more.
yeah. Which
Yeah.
is, total BS. But again, it's like I knew this was unfortunately like something like this was gonna happen.
Yeah, like they were wanting that a lot. The tech industry, especially video games, should be hit hardest by these tariffs.
You could
Mhm.
always go on, thrifting sites like Mercado or eBay to buy discounted versions. I,
Right.
I,
It's
I
always
have a
used.
I have a
Mhm.
friend who uses Mercado, and he buys like hand-me-down items, and they're almost
Ooh.
half the price of official ones.
Oh yeah. There's nothing wrong with buying used, but like I said, since I'm like a PC gamer, it's like Steam's always having sales. I have managed to get games that cost like $60 for maybe like 75% off. Like I got AI the Somnium Files, that's like a game that's like usually $60. I think I got it for like maybe 20 or something. So it sucks, but I'm not too sad about it, but it's still just frustrating. However, there's some happy news. If you guys want to, I got a different link to the article because I couldn't reach that one. So, everyone's least favorite person in the world, Tory Lanez, is now going to have to pay Megan Thee Stallion's legal fees. Ha! Suck it.
Nice.
So, Charles, I don't know if you've listened to our show, but Jad, who's my favorite rapper?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Who is my favorite female artist?
Megan Thee Stallion.
If I died and could be reincarnated, what would I be reincarnated as?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yep. I love Megan Thee Stallion, and this whole ordeal with Tory Lanez has been it's been so unpleasant just because not only did, people try to say, oh, he didn't shoot her, he did, but it was just another example of, oh, women be lying, but they're not. So and here's the thing is Tori is currently in jail for shooting Megan and all this other stuff. Um he somehow managed to pay someone to like harass Megan even though he is in jail. Well, now it seems like that didn't pay off for him because now he's going to have to, on top of serving his sentence, pay for all of her legal fees.
Dang.
Nice.
Yep. So, according to a court document obtained by Complex, the reason for the new bill is directly tied to his conduct during his Zoom deposition on April 9th. Instead of calmly answering questions, Lanes reportedly interrupted Megan's lawyers and insulted one of them by begging for her to comb her hair. This unprofessional, disruptive behavior derailed the deposition, which barely lasted an hour. So, because of his behavior, that's another issue that arose when this whole thing started. Instead of being respectful towards the judge and the lawyers, he has been very flippant and rude. So it's kind of no wonder that he's now going to have to pay her legal fees just because this man, he cannot act to save his life. He has no idea how to just behave and be a decent human being. So again, I'm happy this is happening to him. Screw you, dude. I wish you nothing but the worst. I hope you fall
Mm.
down a flight of stairs. I hope your teeth fall out. Hope you can never have your favorite food again. Screw you.
And the moral of this story, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, basically. It's nice to see that the law sometimes works. All right, Charles, you are next.
All right, so Fantastic Four First Step sees a steep second weekend decline. Yeah, this movie is not doing too good. Like, it's definitely making money, but it's not the big hit that Marvel is expecting.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Uh,
It lost
Oh, okay.
to the Naked Gun remake.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
oh wow, really? I don't see that on there.
So, well, I'm looking at like the latest dailies. It's still making money, just I don't think as good as they
Yeah, its
wanted to.
second week it gets made 44 million, which is like a 66% drop from what it made in the previous weekend.
Yeah,
Ouch.
I think it's a combination of different factions. One is MCU burnout.
Oh yeah,
Now, I
definitely.
would say super movie burnout, but the new Superman movie is killing it
Doing
at
really
the
good.
box office because people actually want to see a new Superman. But with Fantastic Four, it's from the MCU. People are getting sick of it. Their movies are not as good as the Phase One era. And another factor is there have already been two different Fantastic Four adaptations, and none of them have been good. That is, unless you count the unreleased Roger Corman movie, but the main theatrical ones from the 2000s and what fans call Fan Four Stick from 2015 have been very disappointing. And
Yeah.
it's
For
like, fool
some
me once.
reason,
It's like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. It's that sort of thing. And sure, people are responding to it, but there's also been a lot of mixed reactions. Some people like
mhm,
it, some don't. And personally, I kind of fall in between. Like, I like the movie fine, and I think it is objectively the best Fantastic Four movie adaptation. I just think they could have done more.
well, see, I think another thing is I kind of think they shouldn't have released this in the same month as Superman, just because, like, as you said, people actually want to see a new Superman movie because the
Hmm.
last two were not that good. But also, while I do like the Fantastic Four, I feel like Superman is a much more well known superhero,
Uh
and I
huh.
think he's a little easier to adapt.
Yes.
I'm going to be seeing Superman this weekend, but also, like, James Gunn has a really good track record.
Oh, yeah.
Um, like even like those Scooby Doo movies, like they're kind of silly and campy, but people look at them fondly.
Yes.
And like his last, foray with superheroes, the last one was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That was like the perfect send off to Guardians of the Galaxy. So
Oh,
he has a
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
lot of trust. But like I think you're right, Moss, because like see, I thought Thunderbolts was good, but the reason I think it underperformed is just like the Marvel fatigue, but also not everyone has Disney Plus, and a lot of the stuff that's in these movies now, you have to go watch the stuff on Disney Plus, and a lot of
Yeah.
people just don't have that time.
Yeah, I was watching a video from a content creator I follow earlier saying that Marvel should have taken a 5-year hiatus after
Mm,
Endgame because
probably.
Endgame felt like a perfect finale for that first phase of movies. And I
Mhm.
think Disney should have just let us digest that. And then after 5 years, maybe they would have come back with more movies and a new set of stories. But they had to make a new streaming network. They had to fly too close to the sun with all these spin-off shows that you have to
Hmm.
watch in order to understand these new movies. You can't watch Doctor Strange 2 without watching WandaVision, even though they kind of fucked that up too, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, and like what I think, what I like what James did is like, okay, so we're gonna have television shows, but here's the thing: you don't have to watch the television shows to understand what's going along in the movies. And again, like I think it's just I remember I think one year there was like I think what maybe 10 like superhero movies coming out, and a lot of them were Marvel stuff. It's like they need to space this out. I think they've done a better job because I think we only have two Marvel films this year, right? Only
No,
two?
Yeah.
three.
What's the third one?
Yes, three
We had
Thunderbolt,
Captain America, Brave New
Oh,
World,
that's
Thunderbolts, and now
dude,
Fantastic
I
Fantastic
Four.
totally
Four.
forgot about Captain America and I saw that.
Yeah, and now, I mean, to Kevin Feige's credit, he's actually course correcting right now. He's reducing the amount of content going
Thank God.
forward, and we're not even going to see Avengers Doomsday until next December. So we got a whole year without. Well, okay, there's still the TV shows, but other than that, we got a whole year and a half without any Marvel movies until the next one. So rare Marvel W.
Yeah. I think also just I kind of feel like a lot of these movies I think might have also been mandates straight from like Disney.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Actually, scratch that. Before
Mhm.
Doomsday, the new Spider-Man movie is coming out next summer. So
Oh,
we have
right.
a whole year
Mhm.
until another Marvel movie.
And I probably feel it was like the Ant-Man and Wasp, that movie, since it was such a major like bomb. I think that sort of made them like, maybe we should like, step back and not release as many movies. And
Actually, it was Quantumania. Actually,
yeah,
no, you're right. It's called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Okay,
Quantumania,
never
yeah.
mind.
So, I mean, I don't think the film is like, I don't want people to be like, oh, this film's a flop. It's like, no, it's just not doing the numbers Disney wants it to.
Yeah, and I feel like Disney is going to, fall over backwards even more because going back to Ant-Man, you know, we were supposed to have Kang as the main bad guy, but because Quantumania didn't do so well, they decided to roll back on that, and now we got Robert Downey Jr. as
No, that
Doctor
was
Doom.
because Jonathan Majors
Oh
made
yes,
Oh,
that's
twice
yeah.
right. That's right. That's
Hmm.
right too. Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors is,
a wife beater.
Scandal. Yeah, I mean they could have recasted him.
I don't know why
Like,
they
They didn't
didn't.
for some reason.
I mean,
That's
they
weird.
recasted Rhodey back in the Iron Man days, and nobody
Yeah,
cared.
I'm not sure why they
And
didn't
yeah,
recast
it's
him.
it's weird though.
Yeah,
So,
but
So,
anyway,
yeah, next up is you,
oh
Jad.
right, my turn. Let's see here. Star Wars: A New Hope gets a 50th anniversary re-release.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so I'm loving this thing where they're starting to re-release these movies in theaters again,
Thank
and
God.
for events like I can imagine it would be amazing to see A New Hope on the big screen again.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm really hoping, pun intended. Um, I'm confident that. I mean, I want to be confident that they'll release it as the original unaltered version
I
because this
That'd
is
be
the
cool.
50th anniversary, and I don't know. I feel like it would be a missed opportunity to not have what was originally released in 1977 instead of the special edition
oh
version.
god, yeah, cause all those needless stuff they added with the CG effects and that very awkward Jabba meeting.
Yeah, we don't need it. Just release it the
Yeah.
way it was
I
originally.
mean, as a kid, I thought it was kind of cool, but looking back on it, it was very unnecessary because Jabba and Han were just repeating what already happened with him and Greedo.
Yeah.
In fact, um, in the behind the scenes, um, there wasn't a Greedo scene originally. It was just going to be him meeting Jabba the Hutt, and they had the stand-in actor, and they were going to put in a stop motion animation. But George Lucas found it was too expensive at the time, so he decided to film a new scene where Greedo interrogates Han, and they go over how, oh, you better watch out for Jabba and pay your money back, or he's going to get you. And he's like, and he just shoots him. Except, no, not really. He shoots in self defense because Lucas doesn't want to scare the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also just like, I don't know what it is. Like, one of the reasons I get some sort of like on top of like being like, oh, this movie is good. There's something I like watching old movies. There's just like something there's something about them that new movies don't
Oh
have. And
yeah,
I'm trying to be like, oh, back in my day, it's like, no, it's like there's something very
yeah.
charming
There's a
automatically
sor-
about them.
there's a sort of nuance with them, especially if you're watching a culturally iconic film like Star Wars. Or a couple of years ago, I went to see The Exorcist in theaters, and it kind of elevated the experience because you're kind of experiencing it the same way people did back when it first came out in 1973.
Hmm.
Granted, they didn't pull me out on a stretcher, but hearing people react and laugh and shudder at different scenes, it kind of makes a difference rather than just watching it on a small screen by yourself.
Yeah. See, I went to see there's this theater we have called the Fabulous Fox Theater, and it used to show old like movies back in the day. So every like summer they'll show old movies, and me and my mom went to go see Singing in the Rain, the classic featuring uh
Nice.
uh Carrie Fisher's mom, and it was just there was something about it. We felt like almost transported back in time. So it's like, and I think the thing is like I'll go to the theater to see an old movie on screen just to experience that because the experience, like you said, it is different, especially when you're like with people who love the film.
Now that I think about it, one of my favorite experiences was back in college. They had a screening of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and
Ooh.
they didn't just project the Blu-ray or DVD on the screen like most, re-releases do. They actually had one of the original film prints, and you can
Oh
see
wow.
every scratch and imperfection, and the soundtrack was kind of off a bit, but it somehow made the experience more satisfying because
Mm.
it's like watching art, right? Especially for a movie as, ambitious and mysterious as, Close Encounters.
Oh yeah. That's like also considered, I think, like one of the best like American or like Western sci-fi movies. So it's like, it's
Yes.
great to get to experience that like on the big screen. Now, so this is also good news. We are gonna be getting an animated Spider-Punk movie from Daniel Kaluuya and Ajon Singh. It's in development. And here's my thing. I was thinking, about this because for some reason Sony's like, "Hey, let's make all these movies about Spider-Man's villains without Spider-Man."
Hmm.
So it's like, "Wait, why weren't you doing this before, like, giving spin-offs to other Spider-Man characters?" I know Spider-Noir's getting one. Um, and I think there's rumors of them doing like Spider-Ham shorts. I'm like, why not just do this instead of making all these really, really bad live action movies about these
Oh,
Spider-Man
it
villains without Spider-Man.
it's morphin time.
Oh
God.
god. Dude, the fact that they saw when they saw so for those of you who don't know, the film Morbius was a massive flop and it became like a meme. Well, the CEOs up in Hollywood, they're idiots. They don't understand meme culture at all. They thought people were actually genuinely excited about the movie. They put the movie back in theaters and it lost them more money.
Wow.
Oh my god. Yeah, again, I'm like, okay, so first of all, Sony and animation has been killing it as of late. But again, it's like, why didn't you guys think about doing this? Like, you guys were making the Spider-Verse movie. Just go through the comments, like, okay, let's find a random Spider-Man and make a movie about him instead of let's keep making live action movies about the villains without Spider-Man. And it's like, I think these all could have been good, but it's like each one's just been an absolute dumpster fire of a movie.
I think the problem is, you know, between this and Joker, I think Joker worked as a standalone villain movie is because everybody and their grandmother knows Batman lore enough
Yeah.
for them to accept this isolated adaptation. But with the Spider-Man movies, we're just kind of getting to know him. I mean, I know it's
Hmm.
been 25 years since the Tobey Maguire movie came out, but the general audience is still warming up to the entirety of Spider-Man lore. Like, I,
Mhm.
I don't think the movie's even covered more than half of the rogue gallery that he's come across.
Oh, definitely not.
And the fact that they kept remaking Spider-Man, like, this Sam Raimi movies could have gone on just like the X-Men films where they
Oh yeah.
kept the same continuity and the same actors, but have different directors. Because Sam Raimi didn't want to make any more after Spider-Man 3, but instead of making Spider-Man 4 and possibly develop Peter's adulthood, they just decided to redo it with Andrew Garfield's duology.
And then Tom Holland. But like I also kind of feel that when it comes to like Spider-Man, everyone knows who he is, but his, like you said, his rogue gallery are not as well known.
Yeah,
I
like
feel
who
like
the hell knows Craven the Hunter, Madam Web, or Morbius?
Morbius. Like, out of all these Spider-Man characters, they had to choose the most obscure one instead of like his
yeah,
main foe. Like,
I, I was gonna say it's like why did they not start with a Goblin movie? Just because like I didn't even know who Morbius was either. I only know Craven because of the animated show. I'm like, also, like, why didn't they make a Black Cat movie? That would have made a little bit more sense. I feel like
Mhm.
people know who she is, so it's like
I
I'm happy
mean,
that.
to be fair, the Venom movies,
Oh
were
yeah,
successful because, he was already in Spider-Man 3 and people generally
already
know
know
who
who
he
Venom
is.
is.
He's kind of a pop culture icon of his own, so it kind of works, but yeah, for the other villains, it's like, who the hell are these people?
You saw
Yeah.
Why
that in
should
the
I care?
comics. Mary Jane is the new Venom.
Oh yeah. Somehow she and the
Yeah,
symbiote are together. I don't know. It.
yeah, not by choice though. Like the symbiote, Mary Jane was basically its last choice as a host, but it was either her or just us die, and the
Mm.
symbiote chose her.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So I'm glad that they decided. It's like, hey, people really like the other Spider-Man. Why don't we like make movies of them and animate? It's like, yeah, y'all should have done that originally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
we gotta love an anti-establishment Spider-Man, especially in this
Oh.
day and age.
And the fact that they've decided we're gonna make a movie about him, I think is also just a big, kind of like a middle finger, kind of like to Disney and some other animation
Mhm.
companies who are trying not to rock the boat, quote unquote. Speaking of Disney, Monsieur Nick.
Oh yes, Hulu is merging with Disney Plus.
Not sure how to feel about this.
So, which means Hulu is no more. It's now part of Disney Plus's monopoly, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Yeah,
feel about this either.
yeah,
I
like
haven't
Hulu.
actually used Hulu in a long time, so
Yeah, just the shows I want to watch from them are on Disney Plus now, which is the reason I haven't used the Hulu app in forever.
See,
And
I
let's see.
think maybe Disney just wanted all their stuff in the same place, but also see when I had Disney Plus for a while, but the thing was is like unless you're a diehard Disney fan, Marvel fan, Star Wars fan, or have kids, I feel like Disney Plus is not really worth it. So this might be them trying to bring people to it to be like, hey, there's more like content now.
Yeah, like the original plan was to have Disney Plus have all the family friendly stuff and the brands like Marvel and Star Wars, and to have all the mature stuff they got from the Fox buyout to be Hulu exclusive. But apparently that hasn't been a good plan for the international rollout. And when they started integrating Hulu into Disney Plus International in several different countries, that managed to boost subscribers. So they thought, why not just us make it part of Disney Plus instead? It's working out in all the other countries.
oh yeah, and they're no longer going to report streaming numbers for some reason.
They're doing a Netflix. Like Netflix is no longer focusing on streaming numbers, either just revenue and profitability.
Mm,
We'll see how that goes.
Mm.
we'll see.
Okay, Jad, I
And
think you
oh
get
yeah,
this one.
I haven't heard about this one. Dave Bautista joins Highlander reboot movie Major World Revealed. The
Yep.
upcoming Highlander reboot. I didn't even know they were doing a Highlander reboot.
Me
Yeah, I
neither.
just found this out yesterday.
Bautista was still opposite of Henry Cavill. Hopefully they treat him better than DC Comics did. Project was originally developed at Lionsgate, but is now being made for Amazon MGM Studios. The original film is expected to become this fall and released sometime in 2027 or 2028.
I still need to watch the original Highlander. I've never seen
Oh,
it, but I
same.
hear it has a very interesting filmography because people say that the second one is the one of the worst movies ever, but
Yeah, like
the others are just
I
kind of whatever.
I
I
just
heard
want
like
to
the
say.
second one. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Like the second one, they tried to retcon the first movie by saying, "Oh no, there are aliens." Yeah, it's like a sci-fi now.
Yeah, because isn't the whole premise of Highlander is that there's this immortal who's been living for a long time and he's a warrior and there's some
Hmm.
magical
Yeah.
lore behind it.
Yeah, I get. I think they're based off books. I've never read the books either, but
Let's see. Is it based on the books? Story by No, it's original.
Okay, never mind. I might have been getting that mixed up with something else. But also, I just want to say, out of like, there were 3 wrestlers who became actors who I think actually managed to do a really good job of acting. That is Andre the Giant, John Cena, and Dave Batista. I'm really happy he's getting into more stuff because I went and saw that Blade Runner movie a while back, and while I wasn't like really that into it, there's an opening scene with Dave Batista, and he did really, really good. And I'm like, get him in more serious stuff. Like he was just, it was a very
Oh yeah.
understated performance, but it was fantastic. And he himself is such a cool guy. I love him so much. He like reminds me kind of like of a big teddy bear. And I found this out. He is adopted by two lesbians. His parents are
Wow.
yeah,
Aw.
lesbians. So he's always been very vocal about supporting the LGBT community, and I just find him very charming too. He also really loves his dogs, which I mean, come on. That just he's perfect. I love him. Mwah. Okay, now oh, I think I added this one. All right. So I'm actually kind of happy for this because if you guys don't know, I work at a daycare. I'm gonna be working like if like streaming and content creation don't work out, I want to have something as a backup. So like my thing is I want to like work as a physical therapist for kids or work with like kids with disabilities. So I'm very big on shows for children. Now, not every single show has to be like, the Magic School Bus or Sesame Street. It just has to be good. And there's been just an influx of really bad shows for children. So I'm always happy when I see something that looks like it's
Sorry.
it's
So
not going
again,
to
oh,
what's the word? Something that will not make their brain turn to mush. And these 3
mhm.
show look like they're gonna be pretty good. We're getting is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
3 new animated shows based off 3 Dr. Seuss books. We got Redfish, Bluefish, Horton Hears a Who, and then
And the
I think the last one's the
Sneeches.
Sneetches. Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, they're all upon Netflix is expanding their preschool and early childhood lineup, especially after they struck that deal with Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like so far, Disney Plus and YouTube are basically the only streamers who are appealing to that demographic right at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like Disney Plus has Bluey, Netflix now has Sesame Street, and YouTube has Brain Rot.
I've
No,
decided when I
all
have
kidding
kids,
aside, yeah, they do have Miss Rachel at least.
yeah, I'm not letting my kids watch YouTube because the stuff like really Miss Rachel's the only thing that's worth watching for children. So I'm like
Oh
happy
yeah,
that
my nephew loves that in Sesame Street.
again, I'm very happy we're getting some actual good stuff for kids.
Yeah, especially with the Sneetches. I think it's a very good lesson on treating different people with respect and, shutting down prejudice, especially with the whole star belly and stuff like that. It's a cute story.
Mm-hmm. And I
It
think
is
that's like
interesting. It is
go ahead.
interesting that Redfish and Bluefish is the only 2D animated one, whereas the other 2 are 3D.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's weird.
mm-hmm. All right. And then your next boss?
No. Did you go, Jad?
Uh, let's see. Mars, me, no. Rudy went. This is you.
Okay. All right. So there's a new Terminator video game, and they just came out with a trailer. It's called Terminator 2D No Fate.
Mm,
Actually, I think I did see this trailer, and it's animated just like a Sega Genesis game.
yes. I
And it
love it when they
looks,
do the retro
Oh yeah,
styles.
it's all 16-bit.
yes. Oh my God, this looks so cool.
Dun
Oh,
dun 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 dun
oh wow! I love the
dun
animation on
dun
this.
dun.
I remember the Terminator movies. When the 3rd movie came out, I begged my parents to let me watch the first 2 ones, and
Oh no!
they were basically. I mean, I was in middle school at the time, so it. And honestly, I feel like this is something that you can get away with showing your preteen because it's not
Yeah.
too provocative.
I think it's
But
just more the violence.
Where you Arnold Schwarzenegger's naked and you fight the patrons at the bar. No wonder it's rated M.
yeah,
Man, the
but
details in
it's
this are crazy.
I mean, between this and some classic slasher movies, they kind of acted as my baby's first R-rated movie, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Mine was Funhouse.
Oh,
See, I
isn't that
think
the Joe Dante
The-
movie?
Yeah, the horror movie where they are trapped in a funhouse hunted by that mutant guy.
Huh.
mine was The Passion of the Christ.
Of course it was.
Oh.
Yeah. They should have not taken a kid to that. I was in middle school, but even still, there was
Oh,
one scene
no.
I closed my eyes at because it's based off Jesus's life. I knew the story, so there
Yeah,
was one scene I closed my eyes at.
yeah,
Oh,
I mainly
yeah.
knew about it through satire, but yeah, I'm not gonna watch that movie.
Yeah, it's like here's the thing. I thought the movie was well directed, but it's like I never want to see this movie again.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
also a lot of elements that I found problematic, but I think that's a conversation for another day.
Yep.
but here is something I'm gonna watch. The Glass Worker gets an American release date.
Yes, we've talked
The
about this before.
Pakistan's first hand-drawn animated movie, which has been submitted for the 97th Academy Awards. It's getting an English language trailer ahead of its August 15th release. Oh wow, that's really soon.
Hmm.
Hmm. Let's
Well,
see.
it's opening in New York City on the 14th, but
Oh, okay.
it's opening everywhere next month on the 5th.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
goodness.
Let's see who's distributing it. Watermelon Pictures, and yeah, it looks pretty. Like it's heavily influenced by Miyazaki, and
Oh
the
yeah.
animation from what we saw from the trailer a few months back, it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
digging the style.
See, I
who's
think
been
this
pinging
is
me?
taking place in the real world,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, okay. The Glassworker is set in a world loosely inspired by Pakistan. It follows young Vincent and his father Thomas, who run the finest glass shop in the workshop in the country. Their lives are disrupted by the arrival of Army Colonel and his gifted violinist daughter Elise against the backdrop of an impending war they want no part of.
Yeah.
Fun for the whole family.
Well, no, like that's another reason where it's like this is really Miyazaki inspired because a lot of his movies have an anti-war message.
Yeah. Like a lot of them
Oh,
take
yeah.
place on World War II.
So I can't wait to see that. So, Jad, you already went. It's my turn. Yay! I get to talk about my current hyperfixation. K-pop Demon Hunters becomes Netflix fourth most viewed original film, Eyes #1 spot.
Oh
So I
wow!
Hell
Yep.
yeah. They
So it's-
really shot themselves in the foot by putting it on Netflix. This should have been in
I
theaters.
know they could have made so much money.
Yeah, I
And
don't know why Sony insists on us making it streamer only.
See, the
You
thing is,
know,
go ahead.
I've been tutoring a 9-year-old this week, and I was teaching him how to use Adobe Animate, and it was awesome. But he brought up K-pop, Demon Hunters, and he listed his favorite songs. And I'm just glad that this is catching on with
Oh yeah.
kids.
Dude, like I said, I work at a daycare. I'm a support teacher. I go to which room I'm needed. The pre-kindergarten class loves this movie. We'll play we play like Golden, Soda Pop, all those songs, and they will sing along and dance. And then I'll hear the girls were playing. All right, we're gonna play K-pop Demon Hunters. Everybody, I get to be Rumi. Oh, I wanted to be Rumi. Well, you can be Mira. Okay, I'll be like. They are loving it. I just don't think
Oh.
Netflix thought this film was gonna
Yes, big as it came out.
yeah, but see, I had mentioned this when I think I was talking with my friend Sushi. There hasn't been a good animated musical in a very long time. The last one was Encanto, and that
Mhm.
was 2022, 21. So it's been like 4 years since we've
Let alone
gotten
a good villain song.
exactly. And I think it's like they didn't I don't think they realized how popular K-pop is, how much people really wanted another good like animated musical and an original story with some awesome like characters. So I'm glad this is doing so well, especially since I just feel like Sony Animation has been really hitting it out of the park lately with their stuff, so it's just nice to see. I'm also really hoping this passes Red Notice because I hate that movie. I'm sorry. um, there are talks about a prequel to a sequel and like some animated shorts. I don't know who started it. Somebody said there was a rumor about a live action film, but Netflix was like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that." I was like, "Oh, thank God."
And we'll see if Sony will continue this hot streak with Fixed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, Sony's filmography is really interesting. They've only had like, I want to say 4 to 5 great movies, but the rest of them are either mid family films and mediocre kid garbage.
Yeah, see, I feel like when they let Sony do the movies that, like the Sony animation team do the movies they want to do, they end up being really good. Because, like, I think, when did Cloudy Have a Chance of Meatballs come up? That came out in 2009.
2009.
And that was really good. I think it's
Yes.
underrated. But then
Yes.
they got stuck with doing a bunch of open season movies, and then they did that really bad Smurfs movie. But like Arthur Christmas, Pirates, the first Hotel Transylvania, um, the
Spider-Verse.
yeah, of course,
Pictures
Spider-Verse,
versus the
Mitchell.
Machines.
Yeah, the Wish Dragon, and of course, K-pop Demon Hunters. It's like they have like when they let them like I think do what they want, it ends up better. But like since they are owned by Sony, Sony will be like, hey, you have to do this one. So I think it's just like it's like if they can prove their worth or like what they can do, they end up getting a pass to do the stuff they really want to do. So it's like I'm hoping that this trend continues. I have faith.
Me too.
Right. So Moss, I'm gonna let you read this title, and then Jad, I'm gonna let you like read the a menu because you and me are the theme park peoples.
All right, so the article is full menu with prices for the Beak and Barrel Pirates Tavern at Magic Kingdom.
So,
Oh.
yeah, this is a brand new lounge coming to Magic Kingdom right across from Pirates of the Caribbean with that depressing hot dog stand it used to be. Yeah. So it's going to be called the Beak and Barrel. It's set in the same universe as Pirates of the Caribbean. It's all pirate themed. They even have an animatronic parrot puppet there. Yeah, like he even has the front of its chest shaved off to put an anchor tattoo on there. And here are the menu. We have island provisions, plantain and chips, loon corn tortillas, and toasted flatbread served with mango chutney, garlic chimichurri, spiced guava, and zesty cilantro cream dips.
That sounds so good. This sounds good too.
And we have Cook's corn griddle cakes with chipotle braised chicken, warm corn cakes stuffed with melted cheese, lime sour cream, chili peppers, and cotija.
Ooh.
And we have a variant of the corn griddle cakes, but with roasted corn and poblano peppers. For all you vegans out there. We have, for the more adventurous, Kraken's Catch. Octopus tentacles marinated in lemon lime juice with olives, bell peppers, avocado, and piquello pepper almond foam.
This seems like a challenge kind of food.
Yeah.
To see if you can finish it. All right, I'll do the non-alcoholic specialty drinks.
For those teetotalers so out there.
So we got the Cursed Treasure, an indulgent blend of coconut milk and cookie crumbs topped with vanilla foam and Pirate's Gold. It looks like the coin, I think, from the the first movie.
The movie, yeah.
Oh, this one's pretty. It's a treasure trove, a mysterious ube lemon and coconut concoction served with a vanilla cake plant, chocolate cannibal, and golden caramel popcorn. Moss, you want to read the signature
cocktails?
Don't mind if I do. You got the Siren's Whisper for $20, pot and column still white rum blend, Bull's Blue, Curacao liquor, Combière crème de pêche de vigne, liqueur, lime, and cinnamon.
Ooh.
Then the next one, we have Port of Call for $19, London Dry Gin, Ruby Port, lemon juice, and spiced cranberry. I could go with that.
These all look so pretty, by the way.
Oh yeah. And then we got the lit fuse for 1850. Los Siete Misterios Dobayej Mezcal. Tempos Fuget Creme de Banana Liquor. Coconut water, lime juice, and Hella Cocktail Company smoked chili bitters.
Ooh, so it's got a bit of a kick.
How many of these? Ooh, we got a
Here,
couple
I'll
here.
read. You want me to read the next one?
Sure.
We got the Barrels Ablaze, Jack Daniel's bonded bourbon and with honey, lemon, and chili. Hibiscus rum punch royale. We got Don Q Reserva 7 Puerto Rican rum, hibiscus, demera, and lime top with prosecco.
That looks good.
And that one does look good. It's very pretty too. I like this one. The salty seas margarita, Lalo Blanco tequila, Contrier liqueur, ube and lime. A lot of ube flavored drinks.
Yeah, notice the play on words.
Yeah,
margarita.
Like,
triple R's.
So this I would get solely for the souvenir mug. It is the Plunderer's Punch with the Kraken Black Spice Rum, Blackberry Lime, and Vanilla, and it is served in a signature Pirate Skull mug. That one, I want that mug. That mug is awesome.
Yeah, and it's $46, but you get to keep the mug when you're done with it.
Yeah, I think that's worth it.
And now for the wine. We got Spice Root Chakalaka Red Blend from Shortland, South Africa, $17 a glass.
Damn.
Quinta de Santiago Vinho Verde from Vinho Verde, Portugal, $16 a glass. We got Friare Prosecco DOC from Vento, Italy, $14 a glass. And who wants to draft beer?
There's only 2.
Yeah.
You want to take this one, Moss?
Yeah.
Sure. First one is Pirates Paradise Blonde Ale, Victory Brewing Company, $11.50. And Berry Treasure Session Sour, try saying that 3 times fast, Wicked Weed Brewing, $13.50.
And to reiterate, just to be clear, these 2 are brewed exclusively for this lounge. You can't get them anywhere else.
Wow.
Nice. So then let's see.
And we got just standard bottled canned beer, the lager, IPA, and lager, and rum reserves, and a bunch of algae-friendly versions of whatever's on the menu.
Dude, one of these rums are $45. Holy crap.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dude, Disney is insane with some of these.
Yeah.
One of them is like a 25-year-old rum.
At this point, if you want to go to Walt Disney World, just, I don't know, win the jackpot at your local casino, because
Shelly Kidney.
You can bring your own food, right, Jad?
You mean like snacks or?
Yeah.
I think so. Like I usually pack chips or an apple sometimes in my backpack when we go to Disney.
Yeah, see, I feel like if you go to Disney, you sort of eat, you like have a big breakfast and you have some snacks that you can just munch on, and then like maybe possibly you have dinner there, but you also have to make sure that you're going to one of the like better restaurants, just because, yeah, I mean, I understand why these things are so pricey, but man, like $45 for rum, that's a lot.
If it were up to me, I would just leave the park during mealtime and just go to a local Burger King or something, because I don't think I want to pay $40 for a Disney chicken dinner.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
and
crazy.
I think you can do that depending on like the pass you have. Like you go maybe, and it's like, okay, we're getting hungry, let's leave the park to go somewhere else. That's totally valid.
Yeah, so, I think they'll still let you back in regardless.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think
if it's for one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, Charles, since you are our guest, I'm going to let you go first with our with the recommendations.
Okay. Well, my recommendations are the Chinese animated film Ne Zha 2. It already came out this past winter, and it is currently the highest grossing animated movie of all time. It's getting an English dub, and it's coming out in next month. I think it's a couple of weeks or next month, but definitely keep an eye on that because it is really amazing. You can watch the first Ne Zha on YouTube or Tubi for free, but the second one just blows it out of the water. Some of the most colossal visuals I've ever seen. It's also a great story, very emotional, very funny. Like it's a big hit for a reason.
This film
And
grossed nearly $2 billion. Oh my god!
yes.
Wow.
And my second recommendation is the horror film Bring Her Back. It's from the Filippo brothers who directed Talk to Me. If you're a fan
Ooh.
of demon possession, ghost movies, this is a very unique and tragic take on the subgenre. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but I think the Filippo brothers are kind of establishing themselves as new masters of cinematic horror. So definitely give that a shot.
All right. Jad, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
I'll go for next. Okay,
Okay.
my first recommendation, ironically enough, is Fantastic Four First Steps. Mainly because I waited so long for us to actually get a good Fantastic Four film.
Oh, yeah.
And thankfully, they managed to avoid uh, some of the mistakes made in past films. Like, it's not an origin story. The Fantastic Four have been doing their thing for years, and we already know it at this point. Plus, it takes place in an alternate universe. It's like a futuristic take of the 1960s, so you don't have to see any shows or movies in order to follow the plot in this one.
Yay,
Um,
retrofuturism.
yeah, so the story is as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and is now pregnant and expecting Richard Reed's Mr. Fantastic's baby. The rest of the team, the Thing, and the Human Torch are celebrating, but just as new life is about to come in this world, the Silver Surfer arrives to who tell the planet Earth that they are about to be consumed by Galactus, who, thank God, is not some kind of cyclone sky giant.
Thank
Instead,
God.
he's a massive man, and like he's got the helmet and everything, and he's a genuinely intimidating villain, and like he is literally a god out in this film. And the Fantastic Four have never went up against anything like this. And even the public starts to doubt after all the years of heroism that can they even defeat this guy? So yeah, I'd recommend this one. And it doesn't take itself. It's a nice balance between the emotional drama of the family trying to make sure their newest member would have a world to live in, as well as some of the campiness of how ridiculous it is. And Petro Pasco, thank you for giving us the most artistic coded rendition of Mr. Fantastic to ever exist on a movie. Thank you. Because one look at this guy and I can tell, oh wow, is that me?
I'm in a movie.
Like like Mr. Fantastic has a habit of overanalyzing everything, and because he doesn't want to make sure he doesn't miss anything, and especially if it's related to the upcoming sun. And let's see. And my second recommendation is something I binge watched a couple of days. The new season of King the Hill. Like the King is back. Like
Yay.
this is
Awesome.
what we need right now. It takes place 13 years after the original show end. And Hank Hill and Peggy have been living in Saudi Arabia in order to work up enough money for the little nest egg so they can retire. They moved back to Ireland, where it has vastly changed. And poor Bill, I won't spoil anything, but let's just say Bill has been an absolute mess since Hank moved out.
Oh no.
And Bobby Hill is now 21 and he owns his own restaurant. It's like a Japanese grill restaurant that fuses Texas and German food together.
That sounds so like Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, so we also see a bit of a like Mike Judge still does a great job satirizing and commenting on these topics. Like there's this one episode where Good Hank Hank's half brother and the son of Cotton Hill, the mutual father. There's this one episode where he becomes obsessed and following the footsteps of this one manosphere online influencer. And Hank starts getting flashbacks to Cotton being verbally abusive to him when he starts acting like the guy. Right, and one that actually cracked me up was the craft beer episode. As a craft beer enjoying myself, I got a kick out of the fight between Hank and Bobby over beer.
Yeah, I think I remember the line was like every beer tells a story, and I forgot what Hank said to that, but I'm really excited to watch it again. It seems like it's you know, it's still like, you know, the King of the Hill we know and love.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch it. I haven't watched it yet, but from the little I've seen, it looks incredible.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I have my recommendations, and they're both like kind of similar. So our friend John, who runs Super Bonus Round, also does a podcast where he and Jad are reading the entirety of One Piece. And I was on an episode where they were watching one of the movies. I can't remember the first one we watched, but they had me on for another one, and it is called Baron Omatsuri and the Secret Island, and it is directed by Mamoru Hosoda, who did Summer Wars, Belle, The Girl Who Leaped Through Time. I was not ready to love this film as much as I did, but oh my gosh, like not only does it have that signature like Hosoda look, but it's also it's like One Piece if One Piece was horror, and they did it so well. And I'm not gonna give spoilers because I want people to go watch it. It gets extremely dark. Like I know One Piece is dark because it is about pirates, but like this was like a really, really dark. But I just absolutely loved it. And another thing is I tried to do those like reading like challenges each year, and I think I can't remember what my goal is, but one of the things I'll do is like if I don't have a brand new book or I do not have a something to read on my Kindle, I will just reread some of my old books because that's why you buy books, so you can read them again. And I recently reread the book. I think I might have suggested this before, Rice Boy, but it's my show. I can recommend things again. By Evan Daham. I hope I'm saying his name right. Evan's known for creating really weird, like surreal characters. He has like his own world that he created. Rice Boy started out as a web comic, and it's about this creature called Rice Boy who's sort of been told like, "Hey, you're the chosen one." He's like, "I don't think I'm the chosen one," but it's like him going on this adventure, trying to figure out everything in the world. I just like really the showstopper here is the character designs. It feels like very Alice in Wonderland, Ozish inspired to me, but I also like how the characters feel very what's the word? They feel real to me. They are written like even though they're all very surreal, weird looking characters, a lot of them feel very real, and it's just such a interesting story with such it's like every time you see the characters, you're just like, "Ooh, this is doing something to my brain." It's just there's something about these characters that you absolutely love and adore. You just can't help but want to read more. I know he has a website, so you would type in is Evan Daham. It'll take you to the Rice Boy website. And you can buy his book. He also has a long running story called Vatu that is going on. So if you are interested in supporting a really cool artist or just want to read something really cool, I highly recommend his stuff. And that is it. So Charles, thank you so much for joining us. It was so much fun having you here.
Pleasure.
Now, do you have
Definitely.
anything you would like to promote to
Oh yeah, like a Patreon.
Charles?
Oh yes. Yes. If you like my content and you want to support the making of Detective Cat, follow me on ko-fi.com/Charles Moss. That's MOSS. And I also have a YouTube channel where I pretty much make my own stuff, but I have another YouTube channel where YouTube channel for Detective Cat, and that's for let me find the link. Imagine that. I don't know my own YouTube channel, yeah, you can find my first YouTube is Charles Moss 091, and my second YouTube channel is The Incredible Adventures of Detective Cat.
Alrighty. We will put links up in our description, but also when I post it on Blue Sky, I will also put links there. Okay, so next week we're actually, we talked about Dr. Seuss. We're revisiting him. We're going to be watching the Hoober Highway. Y'all have a good day, and remember, it's important to educate yourself so you can fight the demons of ignorance and malice. All
Yes.
right, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye bye.